Jeffrey Martin's connection to Epstein reveals a dark side of enlightenment. Jeffrey Martin's connection to Epstein exposes the dark side of enlightenment. This video explores the lived experience, embodied moments, historical fractures, and paradoxes of this insight. Jeffrey Martin's teachings have encountered skepticism and distrust, with some critics viewing his methods as manipulative and his marketing strategies as disconcerting. The connection to Epstein underscores the potential for spiritual teachings to be exploited by those with hidden agendas. This tension between authentic spiritual growth and the risk of exploitation is a common challenge. Drawing from the Sufi tradition, one might see this as a test of discernment, where the psychological mechanism of projection can cloud judgment. A concrete example is someone who, seeking solace in spiritual practices, finds themselves entangled in a community that promises enlightenment but demands blind loyalty, highlighting the social cost and the need for vigilance. A moment of embodied enlightenment might be a fleeting pause in a conversation, a sudden clarity amidst confusion. In Jeffrey Martin's case, it could be a moment of realization about the true nature of his teachings, akin to the Zen koan that disrupts habitual thinking. However, the irony of his connection to Epstein suggests that such moments can be tainted by the context in which they occur. The body's response to such a realization might be a sudden tension, a tightening of the muscles, a sense of unease. This tension can be understood through the lens of the psychological mechanism known as the fight or flight response, which can be triggered by the cognitive and emotional dissonance of a profound insight. The suppression of spiritual knowledge has deep historical roots. In the late 19th century, Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical Society aimed to integrate Eastern and Western spiritual traditions, but its teachings were often distorted by those with hidden agendas, leading to a fracturing of the movement. This mirrors the co-opting of Jeffrey Martin's teachings by figures like Epstein, illustrating the persistent dynamic where power seeks to manipulate spiritual knowledge. This mechanism of capture is driven by a psychological phenomenon known as moral licensing, where individuals justify their unethical actions by associating with noble causes. The result is a distortion that undermines genuine spiritual growth, as seen in the lives of many who have sought enlightenment, only to find their path compromised by those in power. The human mind resists enlightenment because it challenges the ego's sense of control. This tension is central to spiritual practice, echoing the teachings of the Zen master Dogen, who emphasized the paradox of seeking enlightenment while being bound by the ego. The struggle lies in the mind's inability to reconcile the ego's need for control with the dissolution required for true awakening. This conflict is akin to the psychological mechanism of identity foreclosure, where the ego resists change to maintain a stable identity. This constant struggle is often the reason why genuine spiritual growth is so challenging, as it requires navigating the intricate balance between the ego's grip and the openness needed for enlightenment. In the tradition of Sufism, the path to enlightenment involves the dissolution of the ego. The Sufi mystic Rumi wrote extensively about the need to let go of the ego in order to experience true spiritual growth. This tradition acknowledges that the ego's resistance to enlightenment is a fundamental obstacle, and that genuine spiritual growth requires the ego to be dissolved. The Sufi practice of dhikr, or remembrance of God, is a way to transcend the ego and experience a deeper connection to the divine. This tradition offers a framework for understanding the paradox of enlightenment and the need to let go of the ego. The path to enlightenment is fraught with paradoxes and challenges, but it is also a journey of profound transformation.